Well, I haven't made a quilt in so long that I forgot to maybe do a video of what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the original Turning 20 quilt for my grandson. He hasn't had a new quilt in a long time. His is one of the first quilts that I made. So this says it's the original Turning 20. I'm actually going to do the large one, and it takes 30 fat quarters. I had a bundle of 20 fat quarters for a very long time till I decided to do this one. And if I only used the 20, it would only be like a twin size quilt. I decided, he does have a girlfriend, they're pretty much together, that if I was going to make him one, I might as well make the big one. So I ordered another 10 fat quarters. They aren't the exact pattern that I've had for fabric, but it's the same line. So, whoop, the shadow is going to show there. There we go. This is like all dark. I say earthy colors. This brown cranberries, another brown, a darker cranberry, a lighter, another light cranberry, a darker, dark blue, navy, light. These are the ones that I've cut. These are the ones that I still have to cut. This browns, this green, that's blue. This is the new pattern, and I think the colors will be fine. It's just not going to be the same pattern that these have. But once they're all mixed together, I don't think it's going to make any difference because the colors all go. So I've started cutting these. This is the other cut over here. So I messed up the very first fat quarter, which is over here, because it tells you to cut off the selvage edge, which is here. And the first one I did 3/4 of an inch. And I actually, once I did my 3 cuts, the first cut is 3.5 inches by the 18. The next one is 6.5 by 18, and you should have 10.5 inches left. And I didn't on that one, because it wasn't a full 22 inches. So that's kind of what I look at now before I do my cutting, to see exactly how wide they are, whether I've got the 22 inches. The first 2 strips that you're cutting, the 3.5 and the 6.5, are getting cut down on either end to 16.5. The 10.5 gets cut into a 6.5 by 10.5 and your 10.5 square block, which is your center block here. These make very large blocks. This is the cutting right here. They make a very large block. So I don't know, I think I had about 10 done, and now that I've got the second pack of fat quarters, I probably still have another 20 to go. So I'm taking my time, and up here starting the cuts. Once I get them cut, this is going to take absolutely no time to put together because the blocks are so darn big. They really are. I can show you what one will look like. Just did this for my grandson. I've got that square. You're sewing, well, you're doing 2 different configurations. First, I thought they would be the same if you just flipped them, but they're not. So this is the first configuration. That's how big the block's going to be. Well, when it's sewn, it's going to be a little bit smaller, but that is big. Other configuration is with this block up in this corner, and that up there, and this down there. So, however you do it, it's a big block. So The cutting will probably take the longest. Once I start sewing these together, it's going to be pretty fast. So, doing a new quilt. I'm not rushing on this. Rainy day. I like to be outside when it's nice. And it is a very rainy day today. So, we need it. So, no complaints. So, I'm up in the sewing room again. Here we go.